Good day to Ninth and O. This is Devotionables, brief devotions for busy people. I'm Brandon, one of the pastoral interns, coming to you from the missions hallway in our church. And so we're going through the New Testament in our Bible reading, and we'll come to a particular story that I'd like to share with you about Jesus and Peter. You will remember that Peter and his brother Andrew were fishing one day, an honest day's work, and Jesus comes up to the boat and calls them to follow him. Jesus tells him, "I will make you fishers of men," and to follow me. And out of humble obedience, Peter and Andrew follow the Lord. And you know about Peter. He is very outspoken for the Lord throughout the Gospels as we see him and interact with him. We know him to be a leader, and we know him to be very bold. And what happens with Peter, Jesus has some very, very stark information about Peter, and he tells him in Luke 22, verse 31 through 34, he says that, "I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow this day until you deny 3 times that you know me." Ooh, what an indictment from Jesus, the one who has been maybe the boldest of the disciples, will deny the Lord Jesus Christ. How can this be? Surely not me, Lord. Peter denies Jesus. We see that denial in Matthew 26, verses 69 through 75. It's recorded for us in Mark 14, 66 through 72, Luke 22, 54 through 62, and in John 18, 15 through 18, and finishing in verses 25 through 27. And Peter denies Jesus 3 times. He says, "No, I don't know him." And at the end, the rooster crows. And he makes eye connection with Jesus. And he goes away weeping bitterly. Jesus goes on to be crucified. He dies. He is buried. And that's seemingly the end. And Peter's idea, maybe, being that he likes to go fishing, decides, let's go fishing. And upon this time, Jesus has resurrected, and he comes. He comes to where they are fishing. And he appears to Peter and the 6 disciples in John 21. Peter joins them for breakfast. They eat a lot of fish. And so here we come upon this very important conversation with Peter and with Jesus. It's possibly, I think it's a one-on-one conversation, in fact. In verse 15, chapter 21, verses 15 through 19. And in this passage, Jesus asks Peter a question. Do you love me? And he asks it 3 times. And through this, then we find, just as Peter had denied Jesus 3 times, Jesus reaffirms Peter's love for him in saying, "Do you love me?" And Peter's response, as you well know, you know this text, "Yes, I do love you." And so Jesus says to Peter, "Feed my sheep. Tend my sheep." Do you love me? Yes, feed my sheep. Tend my lambs. Feed my sheep. And so here Jesus is recommissioning Peter to ministry, to shepherding the flock of God's people. And we'll see that fully developed through the book of Acts, how Peter takes takes on this reign of leadership, of restoration that Jesus gives to him. There will be times in our lives when we will deny Jesus by refusing to take a stand for his name. And that's hard for me to even think about, but the reality is there. Jesus stands ready to restore you and I and to give us a deeper boldness to proclaim his name. And so as I close today, I would like to ask you just simply, Jesus says to Peter and to us, follow me. In what way do you need to follow Jesus in obedience today? I pray that you will follow Jesus in full obedience with what he's laid on your heart to do today. Follow me. Trust Jesus.